Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
It's the first freeze of the winter season. The safe options for those without a warm place to stay tonight.
And a fatal shooting over a dog. A mourning family shares the details behind that apartment complex shooting just days before the new year.
But first, let's take a live look outside with live cam on this first full day of 2022. A very warm day out there, but things about to change.
Yes, they are. Let's get to those freezing temperatures that we're expecting in just a couple of hours.
Yeah, those temps will be dipping below freezing. We'll get a first taste of that cold stuff here in San Antonio for the winter season. Strong winds also coming in with those colder temperatures.
Yeah, we know Sarah Spivey has been tracking that front that it's coming in, seeing when it'll move through, how long it'll last. Sarah.
Yeah, thanks, Tim and Courtney. That cold front is right on our doorstep. In fact, here's a look at current temperatures around the KSAT 12 viewing area. Still warm in Del Rio, 74, 66 here in San Antonio. Temp just dropped to 50 in Kerrville, just dropped to 50 in Austin, and look, it's 39 in Junction. So that front is working its way across the hill country. It'll be to San Antonio here very shortly between about 11 and midnight. Take a look at how cold it is behind that front. 10 degrees in Amarillo. Earlier today, Laredo was at 94. So we're talking about an 80-degree temperature difference across the state of Texas because of this very strong cold front. It gets even colder when you factor in that it's windy behind this front. So this is a look at the wind gusts up to about 40 miles per hour in Amarillo, and it feels like -8 below in Amarillo. We're going to have our own wind chill early tomorrow morning in the teens and 20s, but we'll see that temperature drop after 10 p.m. tonight. After the next couple of hours, temperature is going to be falling, and by the start of the morning, 30 degrees. That's a light freeze in San Antonio, and we'll talk about what other areas are going to be expecting a freeze and what you can do to make sure you stay safe and warm tonight. Courtney.
Sarah, thank you. Tonight, the church under the bridge opening as an emergency shelter for those experiencing homelessness. The night team's Lee Waldman takes us inside where partners are coming together to make sure people are not left out in the cold.
Doors are up, cars packed full of coats, scarves, hats, and blankets.
This was all scheduled for delivery for about a week from now, but we've got a freeze that's coming in tonight and a deep freeze, a long freeze tomorrow night, so we're trying to help distribute them as fast as we can.
District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo says it's all hands on deck to get these supplies to people in need. Some of this going to Roy Moth's Youth Alternative Agency, the rest to Corazon Ministries.
We need to start distributing them now, but we need to let people know that tomorrow's going to be even worse.
Councilman Bravo is also gathering masks to bring here to Church Under the Bridge, the only emergency warming shelter opening.
What time are you going to start checking people in?
We'll check people at 7:30. And this is where they'll come in.
40 sleeping bags are all that can fit in the church sanctuary. Diane Talbert, the executive director of communities and Church Under the Bridge, says it used to be 90, but COVID protocols cut that in half.
It starts from that end, and he'll just assign the beds all the way until they fill up.
The plans to open the shelter tonight were made quickly. When Talbert saw temperatures were expected in the 30s, she knew it was necessary.
We may not have as much of a response today as we will tomorrow, but for the people that do know that they want to get out of the cold, we want to be available to them.
She mentioned tomorrow, the colder night on the horizon. The Church Under the Bridge will be opening again as an emergency warming shelter. They're located at 724 Chestnut Street. Another shelter opening tomorrow, Life Restored Church. They're at 400 Arbor Place. If you see someone in need tomorrow, the city has a Homeless Connections hotline. That number, 210-207-1799. Back to you.
Thank you, Leap. CPS Energy sent out an email to its customers yesterday in preparation for tonight's temperature drop, confirming their equipment is, quote, weatherized and ready for the winter season. They also noted their crews are prepared for any wind damage that could cause power outages. The city has a few reminders to keep you safe as well. First, dress in layers. As Sarah mentioned, it'll be dropping into the 30s and in some places the high 20s. Be sure to also check in with your elderly family or neighbors, especially if they don't have central heating. Next, bring your pets indoors. And finally, if you have any potted plants, you should consider bringing them inside, as well as covering any outdoor plants with cloths. For more tips, just visit our homepage, ksat.com.
Taking a look now at other stories we're following tonight. A woman is dead and 5 others injured after a 3-vehicle crash over on the northwest side. That crash happened just after 6:30 tonight near Culebra Road and Zarzamora Street. Witnesses told San Antonio police they saw a red truck speeding, possibly running a red light, before crashing into a silver truck and a Jeep. A woman in the silver truck died at the scene. She has not yet been identified by the Bexar County Medical Examiner. From the 3 vehicles, 4 people were transported to University Hospital, another person taken to BAMC. Meanwhile, BCSO deputies are working a fatal crash scene over on 281 South in 1604. This happening about 6:45 tonight. Information limited right now, but here's what we know so far. That crash involved a truck, car, and motorcycle. Deputies say the truck and car crashed into each other while they were waiting for help. The motorcyclist then crashed into them. The motorcyclist was pronounced dead at the scene. No word yet on the drivers of the vehicles and injuries they might have sustained. Parts of 281 South at Rockport are still closed off as deputies continue to work to clear that scene tonight.
A family is starting the new year mourning the loss of 28-year-old Valentine Gonzalez. We've been following this fatal shooting case since Thursday, and tonight we have new information. His loved ones spoke to the night team's John Paul Barajas about what happened and how they're remembering Gonzalez.
An argument turning into a fatal shooting left 28-year-old Valentine Gonzalez dead. It all taking place at an apartment complex on Wurzbach near Babcock Road on December 30th. He leaves behind 8 kids, his wife, and his mother, who spoke to us through her pain.
I love you, baby. I love you and I miss you so much. I can't see if I could go without you.
According to police, 18-year-old Jordan Eden allegedly shot Gonzalez, went on the run, and then turned himself in later that day. Police are still investigating the case, but according to Gonzalez's wife, the entire argument started because Eden's dog came towards them and they simply pet it.
It says that you can't touch my dog. I don't with you. I don't with any of you.
Brittany Gonzalez adds after going back and forth, Eden flashed his gun. They tried to ignore him, but the dog came back, and that's when he allegedly started shooting.
He shoots at me 2 inches from my face, and he goes and tuggles him to the ground. He cocks the gun and shoots. He falls to the ground. And he looks at me and says, I love you, Mama.
Gonzalez was rushed to the hospital, later dying from his injuries. His brother Timothy got the news, but wasn't able to make it to say goodbye.
I rushed over here, man. I don't even live in town. I live out of town, man. I drove as fast as I could. The traffic was hell. I couldn't get here in time. I'm sorry, brother.
The entire Gonzalez family in tears. One of Valentin's young stepdaughters also asking if she could speak with us.
It's really hard for me to sleep because I miss him. And I want to tell you, Daddy, I really love you and I miss you.
And although Eden is behind bars, Gonzalez's family is upset that he was given bond. Now, his bond is a total of $280,000, and at last check, he has not posted bond. But the Gonzalez family says he should stay behind bars so something like this doesn't happen again. At Public Safety Headquarters, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. San Antonio police are investigating a stabbing attack where one person was sent to the hospital near the west side. The incident happened around 3:30 this afternoon at the intersection of Fredericksburg Road and West Woodlawn Avenue. Witnesses telling police 2 men were seen fighting in the street, so they called police. But by the time the officers arrived, a man was found with multiple stab wounds to his torso. He remains in serious condition tonight at University Hospital. Police did detain someone at the scene, but it's unclear right now if they are considered a suspect in this case.
San Antonio police are searching for 2 suspects who allegedly opened fire on a vehicle with the person still inside. The shooting happened around 3:30 a.m. in the parking lot of a bar on UTSA Boulevard near Vance Jackson Road and I-10. Police say the man was sitting in the vehicle when another vehicle pulled up slowly with the headlights off and started firing. The man inside was hit several times and taken to University Hospital in critical condition. No other injuries were reported.
The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office still working to identify a man found shot fatally over on the northeast side at an apartment complex. This happened just after 10 o'clock last night on North Pan Am Expressway near 410 and Eisenhower Road. San Antonio police say that man sitting in his vehicle when 2 people allegedly pulled up, shot him and took off. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. Police still looking for those suspects tonight.
Police are also looking for a suspect accused of causing a crash and beating two people with a baseball bat, sending them to the hospital. Police say the incident began when a couple pulled over to look up directions on Navajo Street. The suspect was driving in the opposite direction when they allegedly crashed into the couple's vehicle. Police say while the man was looking at the vehicle damage, the suspect got out and started hitting him in the head with the baseball bat. Another man tried to intervene but was ultimately hit in the head as well. Both men taken to University Hospital with severe head injuries. She may be gone, but she will never be forgotten. A journey back at TV legend Betty White's more than 70-year career. Plus, massive wildfires in Colorado leave several people injured and more than 1,000 homes destroyed. How the situation is being made worse by the ongoing supply chain shortage.
And for many, this is the final day of the holiday season. And while many took a break, the Omicron variant did not. We have the latest from around the nation when we return. The Omicron variant is continuing to fuel a surge in cases across the country, and there are fears cases could rise even more following New Year's Eve gatherings. But there is some good news. New data indicates the Omicron variant may be less severe than Delta. Here's ABC's Karina Mitchell with the details.
As a new year begins, new concerns about a possible surge on top of a surge after New Year's Eve gatherings across the country. The U.S. passing 2.2 million cases in the last week alone. New York State starting the year with a single-day record, more than 85,000 new cases. The latest spike being driven by the Omicron variant. But some positive news, a report out of the UK, as well as data here domestically, suggests Omicron is milder than Delta. But health experts are still concerned.
When we have 400,000 positive tests a day, you're still inevitably going to have a large amount of illness, hospitalizations, and also exposures to people such as frontline workers, police officers, firefighters, and doctors who are then taken out of work, and that still could have disastrous consequences.
Nearly 100,000 Americans remain hospitalized with COVID, and pediatric hospitalizations are at a pandemic high.
Our pediatric infectious disease experts are seeing kids that have long-haul COVID symptoms and can have other issues secondary to COVID even weeks later.
With schools scheduled to begin again Monday, districts are weighing their options.
I think as a parent, we're kind of having this here we go again kind of moment.
The Ohio Children's Hospital Association encouraging districts to require masks in schools when they reopen.
If you're a parent, if you're a superintendent, if you're a school board member, if you're a teacher, we all share the same goals. We all want our kids in school.
In Yonkers, New York, one of the state's largest cities, all schools will be remote after 25% of the 800 rapid tests administered to staff and students over the holiday break came back positive.
This thing is spreading, especially to the little ones, and more kids are hospitalized.
And Atlanta public schools have announced classes will be held virtually next week. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
All right, just a couple reminders. The space heaters, 3 feet away from furniture, no stoves, and anything used as heaters, that kind of stuff is important to remember.
Yeah, no generators inside.
Yes.
And if you had the air on earlier today, remember to turn it off so you don't get yelled at in the middle of the night.
That's the most important
I turned it off on my app before we started the show, so I won't be in trouble when I get home later.
Way to go, Tim. Proud of you. Yeah, that cold front is knocking on our door and is working its way across the hill country as we speak. But it was a warm day still outside, much warmer than seasonably average. We got up to 79 degrees in San Antonio. That is 16 degrees above the average of 63. But take a look at Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, Laredo. 94 degrees in Laredo and Cotulla. Cotulla, Laredo, hottest spots on the map for the United States today. Yeah, a very warm day across south central Texas. But outside right now, winds are starting to turn to the north up in the hill country. Wind gust of 37 miles per hour, reported out in Austin, and a wind gust of 29 in Kerrville. The front is working its way through Austin, through the hill country, and temperatures are starting to fall up there. In Fredericksburg, it's now 39 degrees, 50 in Kerrville, and 66 still here in San Antonio, 74 in Del Rio. As I showed you earlier, a wider view here, you can really see just how cold this Arctic air mass is. You know, this past December was our warmest December in 139 years. We didn't really have an Arctic front move through during December, but as we turn the corner on the year, as you can see, that Arctic front barreling through Texas, it's 10 degrees right now in Amarillo. There's that front working its way through the hill country, Austin, and central Texas. There is some snow across parts of North Texas and the hill country, but don't worry, we're not going to see any snow here in San Antonio. But this is a potent system, even producing some severe weather out across parts of Tennessee and Alabama this evening. So when is our big temperature drop going to happen in San Antonio? Well, in the next couple of hours. By midnight, we'll be in the low 50s. By 2 a.m., we'll be at 40 degrees. And to start off the day tomorrow, we're going to be at 30 degrees in San Antonio. So a light freeze, below freezing for a few hours in San Antonio. But up in the hill country, a more intense freeze, 26 degrees in Kerrville, 26 in Rock Springs for the morning low. Generally, we'll see north of Highway 90 freezing conditions. We'll be on the cusp of freezing in southern Bexar County, but in Converse, 31 degrees, 30 in Stone Oak, 29 in Bernie, and 30 in Leon Springs. But if you're a little weather weary from the winter storm in February, I don't want you to worry too much because we're really only going to be below freezing for a few hours at most tonight and into early tomorrow, because we're going to see abundant sunshine and temperatures are going to warm up to near 50. It's still going to be a chilly day tomorrow, especially compared to the weather we've been dealing with the last few days. But we're not going to have anywhere near the amount of cold that we saw back in February when we were below freezing for 107 hours, 4 days. Now, looking at the wind gust forecast, know that the winds are also going to pick up early tomorrow morning. Winds are going to gust up to about 40 miles per hour for the entire first part of the day. So through the morning and into lunch, and then by the evening, we'll see our winds start to calm down quite a bit. So a windy morning with cold weather means a wind chill to start the day tomorrow. Look at wind chills early tomorrow. We'll be looking at wind chills in the teens and in the 20s. Around San Antonio, wind chills in the 20s to start the day tomorrow. So make sure to bundle up if you have early Sunday morning plans. You're going to need the scarf, you're going to need the jacket, anything to protect you from that wind because it's going to get cold. Freeze early in the morning, 30 degrees. Even by noon, we'll still be at 42 with chilly conditions because it's still going to be windy around noon, but we'll see abundant sunshine, 50 degrees for the afternoon high temperature. And then as soon as the sun sets, our winds are going to really calm, and that means our temperatures are going to drop. In fact, by Monday morning, we'll be at 25 degrees. So I'm a little bit more concerned about the potential for up in the hill country, a hard freeze early on Monday morning. So think about the exposed pipes and make sure they're insulated if you live up in the hill country Monday morning. Around San Antonio, that'll be our coldest morning in a while. We'll have chilly mornings throughout the rest of the week, but afternoons will modify and we'll be looking at highs in the 50s. It's also going to be bone dry tomorrow with dew points in the teens. That is chapstick weather. But even throughout the week, we're really not going to see a rebound in high humidity. So it'll stay comfortable, especially Tuesday and Wednesday when highs are in the 60s and 70s. That is gorgeous weather. Another cold front will arrive Thursday, bringing us another freeze Friday. Again, coldest morning in a while tomorrow, and especially on Monday.
Sarah, glad you mentioned to prepare, but don't panic. It's temporary.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, Andrew, the Spurs had a couple opportunities in regulation, then in overtime to put away the Pistons, but...
Yeah, the Pistons had 5 wins coming into it. They now have 6 because the Spurs couldn't get it done in time. When we come back, we'll show you what happened and show you one of the most incredible plays actually from this game, arguably from the season from the Pistons. Plus, Dak Prescott embracing a new role with the Cowboys. We'll hear from him next. Lonnie Walker IV and Doug McDermott are both out due to COVID protocols, and DeJounte Murray remains out due to reconditioning as the Spurs look to start 2022 on a high note, and they've taken on the shorthanded Detroit Pistons, who are missing 13 players tonight. Derek White finds Bryn Forbes for a straightaway 3, and it's 14-9 Spurs. A few minutes later, Joshua Primo tries to add to the lead. He's off the mark, but Trey Jones gets the rebound and floats it in. The Spurs lead 29-20 after 1. Second quarter now, Spurs running the pick and roll to perfection. Devin Vassell to Jakob Poeltl for the two-handed jam, and San Antonio opens their largest lead, 37-23. They keep the pedal down thanks to some sharp shooting. Forbes finds a wide-open Keldon Johnson Spurs spot up 3, 54-42. And then White finds Vassell behind the arc for the triple, and the Spurs head into halftime still up 59-52. Let's head to the third quarter now. Game's getting tighter, but the Spurs still making plays. Joshua Primo gets the lay-in to drop. 69-65 San Antonio, but Detroit pulls ahead. Sadiq Bey drives baseline for the bucket. Count it plus the foul. And the Pistons go up 73-71 and lead 85-81 heading into the fourth quarter. Spurs looking to rally. And Bryn Forbes catches fire in crunch time. Nice ball movement, finds him for another straightaway three, and we are tied at 101. A few plays later, he does it again. 3 threes for Forbes, but the game is tied at 105 late. San Antonio has a chance to win it at the buzzer, but Keldon Johnson's close-range shot is off the mark, so we are heading to overtime. Pistons score the first 4 points in OT, but here come the Spurs. Forbes hits again, this time from the corner to pull them within a point, and then Jakob Poeltl in the lane gets the ball for a 112-111 lead. The Spurs still lead 116-114 in the closing seconds, and watch this. The ball somehow gets into Bey's hands, and he drills a triple over Poeltl and Keldon from the corner. 117-116 Pistons with 1.9 seconds on the clock. Can the Spurs salvage a win? Keldon Johnson wide open, no good. Spurs drop a heartbreaker, 117-116 in OT.
They deserve credit. You know, we got up, I think, by about 17. And they kept playing, got ahead of us by about 7 or so. And we dug down deep, got back in it, had our chances. But in the end, you know, it didn't work out.
Spurs road trip continues on Tuesday night in Toronto. Tip-off against the Raptors is set for 6 p.m.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
There's no question Dak Prescott has been a leader for the Cowboys, but it wasn't until this season that the signal caller took over as the hype man for pregame huddles. Jalen Smith used to be in charge of the speeches until he was cut from the roster earlier in the season, and clearly Dak gets Ezekiel Elliott fired up in the huddle. But here's the kicker. Dak was asked to take over the role by his own teammates.
Some of the guys just told me I needed to do it, and so as a leader, when another leader or somebody else asks you to do something, you don't hesitate. And so when the guys were being receptive to it and that's what they wanted, it was a no-brainer for me to take it over. And at that point, it's something easy for me to do, and something that I just get another chance to talk to the guys and talk to the defense and special teams guys that I may not talk to as much just during the week with the preparation, just kind of let them know how I feel and let them know that who they're going to war with and that we're all in this together.
Cowboys and Cardinals kick off on Sunday, set for 3:25 p.m. Sad news to pass along tonight. Longtime NFL coach Dan Reeves passed away at his home in Atlanta today. Reeves coached in the NFL for 23 seasons, was a 2-time Coach of the Year, and appeared in the Super Bowl 9 different times. He won 2 of those as a member of the Dallas Cowboys, the first in Super Bowl 6 as a player, the second in Super Bowl 12 as the offensive coordinator, and he led both the Broncos and Falcons to the big game as head coach. He owns the 10th most wins by any head coach in NFL history with 190. Dan Reeves leaves us at the age of 77. We'll be right back.
Tonight, Colorado officials urgently searching for at least 3 people missing after the 6,000-acre Marshall Fire tore through, destroying an estimated 1,000 homes. Today, a Colorado snowfall wrapped the scorched earth in white. Debris still smoldering underneath. Officials there saying the snow would have made a huge difference if it had come sooner. Meanwhile, people in the area are still in shock seeing all of the destruction.
Everything looks like it could be out of a movie, and who would have ever thought that this fire would have happened in Louisville?
One thing about Colorado is we do stick together during hard times, and this is one of those times.
Overnight, President Biden approved a disaster declaration to make federal funds available.
Federal officials are warning threat actors may take advantage of the upcoming anniversary of the January 6th U.S. Capitol riot. That's according to an intelligence assessment issued to state and local officials. It does not cite any current, specific, or credible threats. The assessment says conspiracy theories about election fraud continue to resonate among domestic extremists and could again inspire some to promote or commit violence. It says lone wolf offenders are the most likely to exploit the upcoming anniversary.
Workers in 21 states are seeing a rise in their minimum wage, with pay bumps ranging from cents to dollars per hour. Many of the increases go into effect today, but New York's began on Friday. In 8 states, including New York, the increases are part of a scheduled raise to reach a $15 minimum wage in the years to come. States are also increasing rates through automatic cost of living adjustments based on inflation. The federal minimum wage stays put at $7.25. That rate hasn't moved since it began in 2009.
The USDA's new rules for labeling genetically modified foods took effect today. The changes are part of the Department of Agriculture's new rules on genetically modified organisms, or GMOs. As of today, foods on supermarket shelves will be labeled as having been bioengineered instead. In most cases, consumers will still be able to find more information by using a phone number or website or QR code, but some of the old labels consumers are familiar with will remain, like certified USDA organic and non-GMO project verified.
Coming up, the nation mourning the loss of Betty White, now turning to celebrate her legacy. A look back at her lengthy career on screen. Well, we all know Betty White was seemingly ageless, with a career that spanned more than 70 years.
Yeah, sadly, she passed just weeks before her 100th birthday, and many are now planning to celebrate the legacy she leaves behind.
ABC's Zareen Shaw takes us back to her iconic moments on screen.
Thank you for being a friend.
She was America's beloved Golden Girl.
I think was Sophia naked just now, or does her dress really need ironing?
A one-of-a-kind actress who, with just a look, could make us all laugh. Betty Marion White dreamed of a career in showbiz, and Hollywood began to take notice by the 1940s, working in radio. And then taking center stage with Life with Elizabeth.
Betty White in Life with Elizabeth.
But it was the role of Sue Ann Nivens in The Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Oh, my poor baby.
That catapulted her to a different league of success. That role earning her 2 Emmys. Then came The Golden Girls, the sitcom about 4 women of a certain age living together as roommates in Miami. Her character, Rose Nyland, the ditzy one of the group, always ready with a story from her hometown.
I should have said no to the Miss St. Olaf beauty pageant. It was 1951. That was the first year they let humans enter, too.
White would work until the end. At 87, she stole her scenes from the likes of Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds in The Proposal.
The word girl is inappropriate.
Hot in Cleveland saw her again under the roof of Roommates, except this time she was the no-nonsense matriarch of the group.
Do they charge you extra for those big man hands?
One of the most well-known names in Hollywood to this day.
Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby! And the oldest to ever host Saturday Night Live.
Well, it's great to be here for a number of reasons.
Betty White passed away right before the new year. She was 99 years young. In an interview, Betty was asked how she would like to be remembered.
That I made people laugh, and I made them think a little bit. And the 2 parts of my life, the animal part and the television part, and I work them together as much as I can. Oh, it's Betty being silly again. That's what I'd like to be remembered as. Betty is their good friend that they invite into their home.
She sure made us laugh an awful lot. Betty White's 100th birthday film is still coming to theaters despite her passing. 100 Years Young will debut on White's birthday, January 17th, for a one-day-only event. For a list of theaters here in San Antonio that will have that film, head over to KSAT.com.
Cold front is moving through the hill country as we speak. It's our first really strong Arctic front of the season. It'll likely result in our first freeze of the season officially in San Antonio by the start of the day tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at how today stacked up. We were warm, 79 degrees. That is 16 degrees above the average. That morning low of 70. 29 degrees above the average morning low. Here's a look at where the cold front is right now through Junction and into Kerrville. Temperatures have started to fall into the 30s, but it's in the 10s up in the panhandle of Texas. Now, we're not going to get that cold, but we are going to likely see our first freeze of the season early tomorrow morning in San Antonio. Forecast low of 30 in San Antonio, 20s in the hill country tomorrow morning, but we're going to be even colder Monday morning. How long will this cold weather last? I've got to look ahead coming up.
Well, I spent the morning putting all the plants that are in pots into the garage, and that took way more time than I thought.
Yeah, now
I'm glad I didn't have too much fun last night because that was a bit of a workout.
Wow,
there you
big
go.
New Year's plans for Tim.
Well, hey, you're thinking ahead, Tim, and you're paying attention to the forecast because, yeah, it's going to be below freezing tomorrow morning. So I'm sure your wife's grateful that you did that.
Well, I spent too much money on all the ones we lost in February, so I wasn't going to do that again.
And speaking of February, this is not even comparable to what we had earlier in February. I want to start off by just reflecting on December really quickly because it was a very warm month for us. In fact, drum roll, it was the warmest December in 139 years in San Antonio. We were 10.7 degrees above average, and we only had 4 days that were below average there. Yes, very impressively warm December. We did not have any potent cold fronts in December like we usually do. And so even today, as we rounded the corner into the new year, it was warm, 79 in San Antonio, but it was up to 90 in Carrizo Springs, 94 in Cotulla and Laredo, the warmest spots on the entire U.S. today across our KSAT 12 viewing area. Now you can see very clearly where the front is. It's 41 in Kerrville right now. The front is moving through the hill country as we speak. Temperatures are in the 60s that will plummet shortly in the next 2 hours or so. And even across parts of Texas, we're dealing with some snow in the panhandle in North Texas. But as you can see, this is fizzling out, and we do not anticipate any kind of wintry precip here in the South Central Texas KSAT 12 viewing area. But behind this front, look how cold it is. 10 degrees in Amarillo, 14 in Lubbock. And this is a strong Arctic front. Cold Arctic air mass. It's 19 below in Bismarck and 18 below at International Falls. We're not going to get that cold, but we are going to be seeing our first freeze of the season in San Antonio tomorrow morning. We have had freezes up in Kerrville and in Boerne, but at the airport we have yet to see an official freeze, but we'll get there tomorrow morning. This is a look at 7 o'clock in the early morning hours tomorrow. 26 in Kerrville, 26 in Rock Springs. It'll be 30 degrees here in San Antonio early tomorrow, 32 in Gonzalez and 32 in Uvalde. Generally north of Highway 90, that's where we expect the freeze early tomorrow morning, and winds will be gusty. Winds are going to gust from the north up to 40 miles per hour early tomorrow morning. Cold air, windy conditions, that equals a wind chill. Take a look at wind chill potential tomorrow morning in the teens and in the 20s. You're going to need the scarf, you're going to need the jacket, anything to protect you from that wind if you're planning on waking up early and getting out and about tomorrow. But as I just mentioned, this is not going to be as bad as February's storm because first of all, we're not going to get the snow. And second of all, we're not going to be below freezing for very long, maybe only a few hours. In February, we were below freezing for 4.5 days. That is not going to be the case tomorrow. In fact, we'll see sunshine and it will be chilly. We're only going to be looking at a high temperature right near 50 degrees in San Antonio and in the upper 40s in the hill country. So definitely a cold day, but nothing unbearably cold. Now, by the start of Monday, when the winds calm and skies are clear, we're going to have another freezing morning, but this one will be even colder. We're going to be looking at a morning low on Monday of 25 degrees in San Antonio and even in the teens in the hill country. So Monday morning, we're expecting a harder freeze Monday morning. So a couple of things to consider, as Tim was mentioning, cover up or bring in that sensitive vegetation, bring those pets inside, make sure they have a warm place to stay, check on those without central heating, and especially by Monday, and especially in the hill country, if you have exposed pipes, it might be a good idea to insulate those. But I really don't anticipate very many issues when it comes to burst pipes. And again, it's going to be nice and comfortable in the afternoon, Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're not going to be locked into a very, very cold weather pattern, just a lot colder than it has been through December and today. So by Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll be in the 60s and 70s. We're going to have dry air with us all week long. but very dry air tomorrow and on Monday. So again, tomorrow, Sunday, we'll be starting off with that freeze, 30 degrees, windy, and 42 at noon. So cold tomorrow, 50 for the high. And then as soon as that sun sets, temperatures are going to drop like a rock. We'll be back in the 20s Monday with a high only in the 50s. So this cold's going to stick around for a little bit longer than it has over the last month or so. And we get another cold front Thursday. That'll bring us another freeze Friday. We'll be with you all week long, on air, online, KSAT Weather Authority app. I did an appcast today where I was live right from your phone, so that's
Very
what
cool.
we have to.
She's everywhere. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, the first two games of the college football playoff were snooze fests. Let's hope the rematch between Georgia and Alabama was as exciting as tonight's Rose Bowl game.
Of course he said that.
Well, he has a lot to cheer for. Why not? Why not? But no, seriously, I mean, who could have foreseen Alabama back in the national championship game? It's the sixth time they've been there in the 8-year history of the playoff. When we come back, we'll hear from both teams after some pretty convincing semifinal wins. Plus, as they already mentioned, Tim's team did something in the Rose Bowl. We'll show that later. Next. For the sixth time in the college football playoff era, the Alabama Crimson Tide are back in the national title game. The defending champs rolled past Cincinnati 27-6 thanks to dominant performances on both sides of the ball. That includes quarterback Bryce Young, who threw 3 touchdowns in the semifinal. Now, in spite of their performance, Alabama knows they still have a massive target on their backs heading into the title game.
We act and we move with that chip on our shoulder, and we understand what's at stake, and it's on us to push ourselves every day to give ourselves the best chance to be successful and accomplish our goals.
Now, Georgia feels the same way. Their 34-11 demolition of Michigan was pretty much wrapped up at the end of the first half, and head coach Kirby Smart made it clear to his team he did not want a Gatorade bath after the game. That's saved for after the national championship.
We're focused on the task ahead. That's the objective, and that's what our guys. They worked their tail off for 3 to 4 weeks to get this opportunity. And it was a 1-game season, and now it's another 1-game season. I'm not focused on Gatorade baths.
Here is the matchup, Alabama versus Georgia, Monday, January 10th at 7 p.m. in Indianapolis. Believe it or not, the Bulldogs open up as 2.5-point favorites. The Crimson Tide won their first meeting 41-24 in the SEC championship game on December 4th. How about the granddaddy of them all? The Rose Bowl features number 11 Utah against that team that Tim likes. This one was back and forth all night. Pick this one up in the fourth quarter. C.J. Stroud finds Jackson Smith and Jigba for an over-the-shoulder grab. Touchdown Buckeyes. They take their first lead 45-38 with 4 minutes left to play. Utes answer, though, on the ensuing drive. Backup QB Dalton Kincaid lobs it up for Bryson Barnes, who gets both feet inbounds for the 15-yard score. And we are tied at 45. But Ohio State marches right down the field, and Noah Ruggles kicks the game-winning 19-yard field goal. Tim's doing the motion over there. Stroud threw 6 TD passes in this game, and Tim, of course, is a happy camper. Buckeyes win at 48-45. Earlier today, Outback Bowl between Penn State and number 21 Arkansas. Razorbacks take the lead in the third quarter. KJ Jefferson gets into the end zone from 8 yards out on the keeper. That makes it 14-10 Arkansas. They score the final 17 points of the game to win at 24-10. All told, the Razorbacks racked up 361 rushing yards. Crazy game in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Number 5 Notre Dame taking on number 9 Oklahoma State. Fighting Irish take control with a dominant first half. Jack Cohn finds Michael Mayer for a diving touchdown grab, and Notre Dame goes up 28-7. But Oklahoma State responds by scoring 30 straight points. Spencer Sanders ties the game at 28 all in the third quarter with this touchdown pass to Tay Martin, and a trio of field goals helped lift the Cowboys to a dramatic win, 37-35. Number 7 Baylor taking on number 8 Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl right now. Steel alum JT Woods already has an interception for the Bears, but it is still tied at 7 in the fourth quarter. We'll have highlights from this one tomorrow at 5:30.
No, it doesn't really feel real. I didn't know what the time was before we did it.
Back on March 1st, the Johnson girls swim team set a state record in the 200-yard freestyle relay and finished second overall in the team standings, the best finish in program history. Of course, they are just one of the incredible sports stories that we saw from this area in 2021. We will count down the 12 best tomorrow night on instant replay. It was really tough to narrow it down, but you could probably guess some of the ones you'll see.
We'll look forward to that, and we'll look forward to my Buckeyes doing better next year.
Whatever.
Do you notice his mood has improved a lot since earlier today?
Oh, God.
We'll be right back.
And the cold front just moved through San Antonio. Temperatures and dew points have dropped. It's now 59 degrees in San Antonio, but even colder air is on the way. Temperatures are already in the 30s in the hill country. We'll be near freezing. We'll be at freezing tomorrow in San Antonio, our first official freeze of the season. And it's 26. It'll be 26 in Kerrville and up in Rock Springs. But we will see sunshine, so a high temperature of 50 degrees in the afternoon. Even colder Monday, 25 degrees. And another chilly afternoon Monday, warmer and more seasonable Tuesday and Wednesday. But another cold front Thursday night.
Thank you, Sarah.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.